Hello book lovers and welcome to Book Talk Radio Club. My name is Claire Perkins and today I'm talking to author Ben Schneider. Ben is the author of the highly praised suspenseful thriller Crow Mountain. He is the author and artist of the Airman Artless cartoons inspired by his time in the US Air Force and now Realm Journey, his latest novel in the fantasy genre. Hello Ben, welcome and thank you for coming back on Book Talk Radio Club to talk about Realm Journey. My pleasure. Ben, would you like to give Book Talk Radio Club's listeners a brief description of the story?
Certainly. Sir Xandar, a valiant knight, plans to save the nation by replacing his tyrannical king. But Xandar's most essential tool is sought by Lady Gia, a warrior maid who means to stop an invasion of her own homeland. The clashing missions draw the interest of other corrupt rulers who either banish or set bounties on Xandar and Gia. As the pair develop a love-hate bond, their quest deters to a place no one ever returned from.
Tell me about the character of Sir Xandar. What kind of man is he?
Sir Xandar is a selfless man on a never-ending journey to right wrongs. Sometimes his frustration with the wrongs clouds his judgment and leads to rash decisions. The only thing Xandar fears more than death is a half-lived life.
I think a lot of us feel like that. Who is the warrior maiden then that Sir Xandar yearns for, and why does she want him dead?
The warrior maid, Lady Gia, is the most favored agent of Queen Miranda, who has tasked Gia to recover a mystical device from Xandar. When they first meet, Xandar becomes irrationally smitten with her looks and courage. While Gia's intentions are usually good, she is arrogant, short-tempered, and often concludes too quickly that Xandar is only out to ruin her.
King Felix's sole concern is winning a war caused by his own greed and malice. He is unaware his most revered knight Sir Xandar and the scientist Pencerus have a plot to end Felix's bloody reign. Who is King Felix and who is Pencerus?
King Felix is the corrupt ruler of Topoli. Like many men with power, all Felix wants is more power, and he's willing to do anything to gain it, even make war on peaceful nations. Pencerus has been a close friend of Xandar for decades. Pencerus has created a device with the potential of scaring King Felix off the throne and passing his powers to a more worthy ruler.
Right. I've interviewed many authors, and most of them have said that the characters seem to be writing the story instead of the author. Do you find that happening as you're writing?
I never thought of it that way, but I can see the truth of it. I have read a few how-to books about novel writing, with no regrets, I followed the advice of putting character development first.
So where is Realm Journey set? Is it in a mythical land? Can you describe it for me?
Realm Journey is set in an unnamed fairy tale world similar to The Hobbit and Conan the Barbarian. The first difference is the so-called magic that is science-based instead of supernatural-based.
Right.
Secondly, I've included land that floats in the sky, as you may have seen on the movie Avatar. Thirdly, while civilization in Realm Journey is mostly at a 12th century level, life at sea is more like the 1600s.
Right. So what you said it was an unnamed land. Why didn't you give it a name?
I guess I couldn't think of a good name.
Well, that's honest. That's honest. Your previous novel, Crow Mountain, is described as a suspenseful thriller. Did you find writing in a totally different genre difficult?
Yes, I did. In Crow Mountain, most of the world already exists because it is set in a near-future version of the USA.
Right.
All I had to do was use Google Maps and Wikipedia. I didn't have this advantage with Realm Journey. I had to completely invent a world for the story. But this ended up being more enjoyable than I expected.
Right. I find that amazing. You know, I've written self-help books, and but when I speak to authors that have created written fantasy novels, I'm always amazed at the richness of the imagination. I really admire you guys for doing that. Let's have a quick chat about Crow Mountain anyway. Would you like to give Book Talk Radio Club's listeners a brief description of that story?
Certainly. As Sonia McCall, a former outlaw, evades her ruthless ex's biker gang, she helps Trey Radisson, a brilliant inventor, evade a high-tech extremist group. If the radicals gain Trey's priceless knowledge, the free world will change for the worse.
Right, so as you said, the main character in Crow Mountain is Trey Radisson. Who is Trey Radisson?
Trey is the brilliant inventor who created a cloaking device, and after having too many nightmares of it falling into the wrong hands, he selflessly destroyed it.
Destroyed his own invention.
Correct.
You've included some humour in Crow Mountain, so it's not all dark and desperate then. It's quite unusual to have humour included in a thriller, isn't it?
I've noticed this too. I believe there is always room for humor, but perhaps most authors don't share my view. Hopefully this is not true with most readers.
Alright, well, back to Realm Journey. This is your first novel in the fantasy genre. Is there a particular author or book that inspired you to write Realm Journey?
Most of my ideas for Realm Journey were from movies and video games. The books that helped me include The Hobbit, Kingmaker Sword, Pirate Royale, Robinson Crusoe, Treasure Island, and multiple Conan novels. The most helpful authors were Robert Jordan and Terry Goodkind.
Right. So who is the audience for Realm Journey?
Realm Journey was written for anyone who desires adventure, justice, and humor. It's also meant for readers who believe what I do, that life is always better when you treat others well. If any non-believers of my theory read Realm Journey, they could find themselves changed for the better, but I may never know.
Will this be the only time you read about Sir Xander, or will there be a second book?
I've dedicated far more time to the story of Sir Xandar than any other story. In fact, Realm Journey was rewritten and edited multiple times in the past 20 years, making it my finest creation.
Wow.
I even made the cover art, so it's not likely there will be a second book, but I'm not closing the door on this possibility yet. For now, I'm focused on marketing and finishing my sequel to Crow Mountain, since characters of the near future are easier for me to relate to than fairy tale characters.
Right. So it's taken you've been writing this for 20 years?
That's correct.
That's amazing. Did you ever think it would be finished?
I honestly wasn't sure. Getting it published never became a priority of mine until the last few years. I was just too caught up in making it perfect.
Well, congratulations. You're already receiving 5-star reviews for Realm Journey, including, I went into this book unsure of what I'd think, and honestly, by the second page I was committed to it. And from the moment I started this book, I enjoyed every moment. I highly recommend this author. High praise indeed, Ben. It's fantastic. Well, lastly, and very importantly, where can Book Talk Radio Club's listeners purchase Realm Journey and Crow Mountain?
They are both available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble.
Okay then, well lovely. Thank you, Ben. Please come back on Book Talk Radio Club again. I'd love to chat with you and hear more. In the meantime, good luck for the future, and thank you everyone for listening to Book Talk Radio Club. Thank you very much, Ben.
Thank you.